Hello, my name is Jamie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Unlike any other YouTube channel that showcases Pokemon Go PvP content, mine exclusively showcases Shadow Pokemon. So if you're into that type of content, I'd appreciate if you could like and subscribe. So let's get into today's video. Today's video we are bringing yet another spicy team comp. We are using Shadow Mewtwo. Even though my Mewtwo's IVs are absolutely trash, there are 14, 15, 7. Mewtwo's already super glassy without having a 7 HP stat, but we only get 2, the one we got off Jmoney and the one from GoFest. You gotta go with what you can, so we're bringing it today. And we're gonna have its team partners. In the lead, we're gonna have Shadow Snorlax running Lick, Body Slam and Superpower. We're gonna have our trusty Machamp. You will see on screen, as I scroll down now, it has got Stone Edge. I have Elite TM'd that after making this video. That'll be for an upcoming video, but in this particular set, I'm running Counter, Cross Chop and Rock Slide. We're going to have that Shadow Mewtwo running Psycho Cut, its legacy move of Phystrike, and Ice Beam as the coverage move, as I feel Ice Beam's got great play for stuff like Yveltal, Lugia and any dragon we might come across. So without any further ado, let's get into the battles. We will be leading Shadow Snorlax for the duration of the video, and he is equipped as a best buddy. You will see that I like to try and gain shield advantage or soft lose lead with Snorlax, as we like to try and get ahead on energy with Mewtwo. So in this first matchup we pick up a lead against Togekiss. We will actually win this in even shielding scenarios, but like I just said, we're looking to get shield advantage as both Mewtwo and Machamp are super glassy. So I lick down just before I'm about to get taken out. I fire off this last minute body slam, so I incline the opponent to shield, which they do. And they've now got a nice bit of health, which we are going to be able to farm down. You can see Mewtwo's getting absolutely shredded by Charm, but we've got over a Psystrike loaded, and in comes Giratina. Ghost counters Psychic, or you'd like to think. However, these Psystrikes do over half his health. We managed to get the back-to-back off before they even reach an ominous wind. So if the opponent was to shield, we'd reach a third. They don't shield. In the back is a Dialga, and this is where Machamp comes in. The opponent is staying in, but there's no chance that they're going to be able to outpace us. We'll get to the back-to-back cross chop. The opponent sees the writing on the wall and back out. So GG's to that opponent. You can already tell that Mewtwo ahead in energy is absolutely deadly. We pick up kind of a neutral-ish matchup against Melmetal. Melmetal will outpace Snorlax, however we are very thick. So I wait till they get to 9 Thunder Shocks just before they get to the back-to-back Superpower, and I try and bait with a Body Slam. We grab the first shield. The opponent is at the back-to-back Superpower. I'm going to shield this first one up, and we unfortunately get baited with a Rock Slide. But I do outpace them now to this Superpower, as they're still over farming for the back-to-back. We can manage to grab another shield. I won't get taken out, whatever this is. However, they just go for a Rock Slide, and the opponent now empties all its energy. We survive again. We're looking to get to this next move, however, we get sniped by Yveltal. This is fine for us though, as Machamp now can come in. They only farm up to 4 Snarls. This is only a Dark Pulse, which is resisted. You can see Machamp is quite glassy, but does tank that no problem. So I over farm just before they get to their next move, and I hit him with this Rock Slide. Rock Slide takes them out, and in the back they've got Giratina. So again, we're going to fire off this Rock Slide, waiting for our switch timer to come up, which it does now. Looks like the opponent is going for that Shadow Ball, but Mewtwo generates energy so quickly, so the unshielded Giratina gets taken out by a Psystrike, and back in comes the Melmetal. Rock Slide won't take us out from this range, so I allow it to come through, as I know Machamp's the win con. We get to this Psystrike, even resisted. You're going to see how hard this Mewtwo hits. Does around 33% of health. The opponent's desperately trying to Thunder Shock us down. However, Mewtwo hangs on, and another Psystrike will clutch this game. You can see there, Mewtwo as a closer is lethal. GG's to that opponent. Moving on into this next battle, we pick up a neutralish lead against the Mewtwo. The opponent now switches out into Dialga, so we immediately bring in our Machamp. We go straight for this cross chop. We're looking to do either huge damage or grab a shield. We do grab the first shield. We manage to get a counter through, so I'm going to be able to shield this up and outpace him to the next move. We are actually able to counter down due to getting that extra counter through, which is huge, and in comes a Kyogre. We fire off this cross chop just to do a bit of chip damage. We wait out our switch timer, and we're now going to be able to bring in our own Mewtwo. We just get outpaced to this first move, however we are going to shield this up. We overfarm a bit. We're now trying to time off charge moves so we don't allow an extra waterfall through. Phystrike comes through, grabs the shield, and we're going to outpace him to this next move. Again, Mewtwo's energy generation is fantastic and it hits like a truck. They bring back out the Mewtwo. We are countering their Psycho Cuts, so we catch the Phystrike on our Snorlax. And now we are going to have to get to this Body Slam. This Body Slam will get him quite low, so the Mewtwo is going to have to fire its energy. They're going to be unable to Psycho Cut us down or over farm too much. So charge move coming through. The Phystrike will be enough to take out our Snorlax. However, our own Mewtwo is only one Psycho Cut short of the Phystrike, and this will be enough to take the match. So GG's to that opponent. Moving on into this next battle, we pick up another Melmetal lead. The steel leads have been really common today. I'd just like to point out that you can already see there's been some lag spikes in these matches. These were played over the community day weekend and the lag was horrendous. I was getting really tilted, and to be honest, I was that annoyed at how many issues I was getting. I was considering uninstalling the game. I was going to make a video just with the weekend's worth of fails, but we've recovered, so getting back into it. These obviously aren't from the same set. They are just some of the less affected matches by issues. So in this matchup, we have managed to get both of Melmetal shields, which is great for us. We are now going to let this move come through, which is the superpower, which will take us out. Due to the fact that superpower, they have lowered their attacks. We can now bring Machamp in and hard farm. We don't have to shield, as a debuff superpower doesn't do a lot. And the opponent switches out into Togekiss. So like we said earlier, we like this Ice Beam as a coverage move. I overfarm slightly, and this Ice Beam is going to one-shot this flyer. So Togekiss normally gives me immense problems in the Master League, due to obviously the Pokemon we use are normally really weak to Charm. However, Mewtwo with Ice Beam can one-shot. Back out comes the Melmetal. We outpace him as we overfarmed a bit to that Psystrike, which takes him out. And they've got a Dialga in the back. Machamp's got a cross chop loaded, so it's now going to be a race. Can we reach a second cross chop before we get Dragon Breath down? The Dragon Breath is really shredding us down. 1 HP in a dream. And Shadow Machamp clutches out this game for us. So GG's to that opponent. So, moving on into this next battle. We pick up a lead against a Kyogre. This isn't really a great matchup for Snorlax, as Kyogre's got such a huge stat product, and these waterfalls do really chunk us down. They do a lot more than our lick. We allow this surf to come through, and we look to build up towards the back-to-back Body Slam. These Body Slams don't do a lot to the really bulky Kyogre, and we look to go for this superpower. I go for superpower as it does slightly more damage and it gives them less farm. The opponent actually shields, which is alright for us. We're now going to bring in Mewtwo and look to try and Psycho Cut down. It is a really aggressive play. You can see we're almost down to half health. The opponent's also about to reach another surf. I am desperately trying to Psycho Cut down. You can see they get there on 1 HP. That huge stat product coming in clutch for them. However, we are now at around 90 energy. In comes a Giratina. The Psystrikes do about 60%. The first one grabs the shield. So I now go for this Ice Beam. I haven't simmed this, but I'm hoping it one-shots. Unfortunately, it does not. However, they are trying to Shadow Claw us down. They're unable to do so. We get to a last-minute Psystrike, and I'm spamming the Machamp. And luckily for us, in the back is a Dialga. And Machamp absolutely destroys Dialga in the Zero Shield. Cross Chop only costs 35 energy, so we outpace it. And you can see there it's an easy win for Machamp in the back. GG's to that opponent. So even though we went down shields in that matchup, Mewtwo ahead in energy again was deadly. If you are going to use Mewtwo, the Ice Beam doesn't one-shot, or at least not with an IV like my moveset, so I would recommend going straight Psystrike. But as usual, I normally just throw these teams together and try and figure them out as I play. So going for the Ice Beam there actually was not energy efficient. So getting back into this next matchup, we pick up a lead against an Excadrill. We gain shield advantage and we look to bring in Machamp. We're going to shield this up and completely counter down. So Machamp now has a nice bit of energy. And we're going to see what they bring in next. They bring in a Yveltal, which is a strange play. They looked like they were trying to catch a rock slide on Dialga. So they've now given us a lot more farm, which puts them in a really rough spot. So they had a whole team weak to Machamp. I believe it's a team that's actually been popularised by Home Slice Henry. Shout out Home Slice Henry. However, it doesn't do well against Shadow Machamps, although I don't think it's a very common pick, unless you're obviously watching this channel. We now switch out. We're going to be able to shield this up. And due to that Ice Beam going to waste in the last video, for no reason other than I want to Ice Beam a Yveltal, we switch out into Mewtwo, we shield once, and this Ice Beam will be enough to take this game. So GG's to that opponent. The Machamp there absolutely shredded the team. We could have seen a Machamp sweep, but obviously this is a Shadow Mewtwo showcase, so we need to give it the limelight. I would recommend Shadow Mewtwo if you have a decent IV one especially. Due to Mewtwo being so glassy, I don't really think the lack of bulk affects anything, as most charge moves you really want to shield. So having that extra shadow damage is really nice. You can see there a hidden energy, it is lethal. Even stuff that's supposed to counter it, such as Yveltal or even like a Melmetal, they really don't want to take moves even when they're resisted. Obviously you do have them coverage moves as well. And even a Giratina. Giratina should counter a Psychic type, but these Side Strikes were absolutely shredding it. So if you did like this content, I'd appreciate if you could like and subscribe. Also, if you've got any suggestions towards the end of the season on Shadow Pokemon you'd like to see, post it in the comment section down below, and I will see you all in the next one.